Good morning, everybody. Welcome back, Trapping the Mitten. We are back here with the loader today. There it is, the 4500. The loader's basically disconnected now. All that's left is some hydraulic lines, and I'm gonna take those off today, but I also need to remove the front bolster and the radiator support. So with the radiator support on this is also a hydraulic fluid reservoir. It holds about 4 gallons. So that'll be first. I'll drain all that, and then I'll start unbolting stuff, and we'll just see where it goes from there. But the mosquitoes are bad. I actually got the thermocell out, and we're going to give that a try today. Hopefully it works. I've never actually had good luck with one, but everybody says use them, so I'm going to try it. I had to actually replace the other one I had because it wasn't burning, and I can hear this one's working though, so we'll see what happens. Thanks for being here, and I'll be with you here and throughout the day. We'll give you some updates. Okay, so step one was to drain that tank right there. That is actually just one big tank. I thought it only held 4 gallons. Turns out it was closer to 8, 7 or 8. I'd say there's 4.5, 5.5, 6, yeah, 6 or 7 gallons. I don't know. It was a lot more than I thought. You can see I took this hose off and I loosened the air line, the hose to the air filter, and then I just have to take off this other one here real quick and then loosen these 6 bolts. You can see I've already got figured out what sizes they are and whatnot. And then this bolster should just roll right off of here. I know it's heavy, and I'm hoping it's a one-man job. But we're going to find out. I would say a conservative estimate would be 150 pounds. So it wasn't terribly heavy, but it was heavy. Yeah, and of course, there was no graceful way to get it out there by myself. But alas, the radiator support is gone, and it's time to start looking at the front end of this thing. I'm going to probably take out the pump. I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to do, but I do see, gosh, I'm going to have to take the loader off before I take the bolster off of this engine. So I guess I kind of knew that already. All right, here we go. Having fun. Another great day. I had to laugh for a couple seconds. I couldn't remember why I had to take the radiator support off of there. And then it dawned on me, oh, that's right. I couldn't get the pins out from the loader because there was just no room to drive them out. So I had to get that thing out of the way so I could drive the pins out of the hydraulic arms. Which I'm going to do now. I'm going to take off these hydraulic hoses, and let me just show you real quick what I'm doing. I've decided I'm going to take off all the hydraulic, the rams. If nothing else, they all need to be painted and prettied up a little and cleaned, and I want to make sure that they're all, in good service. Looks like I'm just going to take them off of the loader frame here and leave them attached there. Or I have to readjust my chain, which is really no big deal. I do have to get the chain fall to come down a little bit, but I have it chained up also with another chain, so that's all right. But I think once I get the arms off, once I get the rams off, I think the arms will be, maybe a couple 100 pounds lighter, which is good. Every little bit helps. So. All right, she's coming along. This is the 4500. We're going to put all this good loader on. We're going to fix it up, paint it up, and we're going to put it over there underneath the shed with the 4400. So, should be interesting. Okay, we got her done. I'm going to lower this thing down here in a couple minutes, and I'll have to get the other tractor over here to move it. But that arm is frozen solid. It would not, or not arm, it's a hydraulic ram, but it would not move one little tiny bit. So yeah, Gonna have to do some beating. I don't want to beat on the ram though. Put some spray on there and just see if we can get it to wiggle loose. But that was it. I had to leave a couple lines attached just because I couldn't get them apart, so that'll be something to work on. I sprayed those all down and we're just about ready to start tearing apart this motor. Woo! Thanks for watching. Hey everybody, welcome back. Trapping the Mitten. I think this is day 3. Could be day 4, I don't really remember. But we're still working on getting this loader off. Obviously I'm no mechanic, at least no professional mechanic. Let me show you what we're doing today. Hopefully today's the last day of getting it off and then cleaning it, painting it, and putting it on the other tractor. So the last thing to come off are these, I guess they're called loader frame. The loader frame. There's actually 2 parts, and they're bolted on here to the bolster, and then they're bolted on to the rear axle, and then there's some lines that go between them. Those have already been disconnected. You see I got a bucket down there on each side draining all the oil out of them. This thing takes I believe it was 14 gallons, and yeah, I think I've gotten every bit of that out of here. So got the chain fall hooked up, so we're supporting it. Got to crawl underneath the back and undo those bolts, and then I'm hoping to get one side off real quick, and then the other one's going to be a bit of more pain because it has the hydraulic lines attached to it on the other side for the control. So a little bit of work in there to take care of that, but then this tractor is basically scrap. Oh no, and I got to take the bolster off still, because I'll be using that for the front axle instead of the other one on the 44. This one's a much heavier duty, so. But that'll be probably another day. To be honest, I don't think it's a lot of work to take it off. I think it's basically just making sure it's on a hoist and picking it up. So, and of course, unbolting it from the engine. Well, we got half of it off. I ended up having to cut the 2 big bolts that went through this support to the bar. Not a bar, I guess it's more of a plate. But you see right here, I ended up having to cut those because they are in there solid, ain't never coming out. And I'll have to get a blue nose torch and get those babies out. So now we're gonna take apart the other side now, and like I say, this one's a little more complicated just because there's hydraulic lines attached to it down there. I don't know. We'll find out. I think they'll come out with it, to be honest. We're going to find out. So here we go. All right, we got both sides off. I didn't even have to cut this one. They came loose with the impact gun. And the loader is off. There's a few hydraulic lines and whatnot I got to play with, but mostly when I remove the bolster and put that on the other tractor, most of that stuff will just go with it. I mean, I'll probably undo it all and lube it up and make it all pretty, but I would say by and large we're just into the swapping out mode now, and we're pretty much done disassembling. I still have to take that off the bottom. That line right there goes between the 2 loader frames. It's just a big hard line, just a big, almost like a C. But anyway, I think that might be a good place to stop for the day. I might get over and use up some crop damage permits today. We might get the 50 cal out and see what we can do with it. So, all right, we'll talk to you guys soon. Thanks for watching. All right, well, before I quit, I decided to take the radiator out, which gave me a better look at the bolts for the bolster. And boy, was there a lot of garbage down in there, let me tell you. I think the fella who was driving this before did not know the term power washer. I'm not even sure he knew the term wash. There was like places where there was 3 and 4 inches thick of just muck. Almost like they were mud bogging this thing. And you know what? I guess that's, but you got to know, that's part of why I got it right. It was dirt cheap. So I actually got the engine to turn just ever so slightly. I'm not saying it's not still frozen, but I was playing with it, and I actually got it to turn a little bit. So I don't know, that kind of made me feel good. But all right, the radiator's over yonder, all prettied up, and it needs another power wash. It's about time for another power wash, but that'll have to wait till another day. Oh, and I jacked it up, and there was so much goop on the steering components. Once I scraped a lot of that off of there, I was actually able to turn the wheels. So it's just so frozen because there's just so much crap stuck to it. But now that I can get it with a power washer, I'll be able to free up a lot of stuff. And again, we are getting dangerously close to an engine rebuild here. Assuming once I take off that pump, if I can get a wrench on that harmonic, then I will be checking to make sure I can spin it. And if this engine turns over, we're going to rebuild it. So excitement avails. All right, thanks again for watching, guys. Trap in the Mitten. Another great day. Woohoo!